Welcome friends to this live webinar by Synergy Study Point Pune. The topic for today's webinar is understanding IRS, that is Indian Revenue Service, opportunities and challenges. So I will be talking on this topic. So I would like to tell you those listeners that how we will go on in this webinar. First, I will introduce myself and a little about my journey, that how I reached to IRS, and then how where I am presently working. Then we will touch our topic and go in detail that what is IRS, how's the job nature, what are the responsibilities in working as an IRS officer. And then during the webinar, you can ask questions in the chat box. I will go through it. If it pertains to our topic, then I would be more than happy to take it at the end of webinar. There might be some general questions that how to prepare for UPSC and what to study, what are book list for UPSC. There's such questions, such general questions can be tackled in some another webinar. But for today's webinar, we are very specific about our topic and would like to give justice to the particular topic. So you are most welcome to ask questions on the webinar topic, that is understanding IRS, Indian Revenue Service, opportunities and challenges. So in this Corona times now, I guess this is the new normal where through this webinar we are interacting with each other. I have delivered some of the sessions and or used to classroom sessions and some open sessions, but this is the first time I'm live on Facebook. I've given lectures on some other platforms, so let's see how it works out. First, thank you to the Synergy Study Point for giving me this opportunity to interact with you all and to give my thoughts on the particular topic. So I would start with my introduction, that who am I? This is Nitish Haribhau Pathode. I am proper from Sindewahi. It's a tehsil place in Chandrapur district of Maharashtra. I have done my basic schooling from here only, that is Sindewahi, and my 11th, 12th I have done from NH College in Brahmapuri. Then I have done BTech in Electronics and Telecommunication from Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University, Lonere, Raigad. After that, I was placed in a software company called Cognizant, but I did not take that opportunity, and I always wanted to appear for this civil service examination. So I started my preparation in Pune. In Pune, I joined Synergy Study Point, and there I took coaching for general studies, geography, essay, and prelims. In my journey, yes, Atul Lande sir has helped me a lot. It's like a very friendly relationship with a teacher come mentor. Then Sujit Trukari sir, Vasundhara Kokane ma'am, and all the staff of Synergy Study Point helped me in my journey, especially for my interview preparation. One-on-one interaction with Atul sir was very helpful. I prepared for UPSC only from Pune only. I gave all my attempts. I qualified this Indian Revenue Service in my third attempt. Before that, I have appeared for many exams and also got qualified in staff selection, CDS, Cabinet Secretariat, MPSC, and at last, in my third attempt, that is 2015 CSC exam and 2016 IRS batch, I qualified for this Indian Revenue Service, Customs and Indirect Taxes. Uh, After that, I joined training at National Academy of Customs and Indirect Taxes and Narcotics at Faridabad. It's in the Haryana state. For 1 year, I was getting trained there. After that, I got my first posting at Mumbai. So presently, I'm Assistant Commissioner in Mumbai East Commissionerate of Mumbai Zone at Mumbai. So this is in short about myself. uh, we would directly go to our topic, that is Indian Revenue Services, opportunities and challenges. First, what impression you get when you hear this word IRS? It might be common for some of people, those who have interacted with some of the IRS officers or heard the name of this service through newspapers, media, and like that. Because what happens in UPSC civil service examination, the most famous services are IS, IPS, Indian Foreign Service, and then this comes that Indian Revenue Service, and there are many other services, that is in railway services, postal services, and many. So this is one of the service, that is Indian Revenue Service, and many of people don't know in detail or about the job nature, the about this service uh, per se. I would frankly tell that even I was not aware about this IRS before preparation of UPSC. While studying for UPSC, and we have to fill that preferences form, that which service you want to give your preference first. So it was mostly, as everybody gives, it's like IS, then IPS, Indian Foreign Service, and there comes Indian Revenue Service. In Indian Revenue Service, there are two types. There is Indian Revenue Service income tax, and then Indian Revenue Service customs and indirect taxes. So I am in this second service. First, would like to tell you about some of the basic things. I guess many of you, those who are listening to me, might be very new to this civil services and UPSC processes and all. So first, we would understand about this revenue. See, government builds roads, bridges. In this Corona times, you must have heard in the media that government is setting up some new COVID hospital and like that. So government needs to spend money on building this basic infrastructure and many other to give you many other government services. For that, government needs revenue, money. So where does this money come from? There are many sources for this revenue, but the major source of government's revenue is tax. So government tax various entities, like when government tax people directly, it's called as income tax. So we know that when there is a direct tax, that is income tax, corporation tax, it all comes under income tax, that is Indian Revenue Service income tax. And when the taxes are indirect, by indirect I mean like the GST, the service in which I am here, the shopkeeper is paying the tax on behalf of you to the government, but the actual burden of tax is on you, but shopkeeper is paying. It's like indirectly it's coming to government, so it is called as indirect tax. So this there are many indirect taxes, and GST is one of that. So I am in this indirect taxation services. In Indian Revenue Service, that is customs and GST, there are three main streams. That is, first is the GST, second is customs, and third is the narcotics. GST, you all know, that is from the 1st July 2017, this reformative change came. It is a major reform in the taxation system of our country. GST subsumed many erstwhile taxes, like there was earlier excise duty by central government, there was service tax, there was sales tax and VAT by the state government. So like these 11 taxes subsumed under GST, and GST came out as a single tax. So this single tax, this goods and services tax, is administered by both, that is state and center. So like this, I'm in the central services. Parallelly, there is a machinery for the state also. So what happens? Suppose in a particular region, say in a Pune district, there are consider there are 100 taxpayers. Taxpayers means those who are who have to pay tax to the government. So this will be divided based upon a proportion, and around half of them will be administered by state and others will be administered by center. So this is the system. Through MPSC, you must have heard about this post like sales tax inspector. There is assistant commissioner of service tax. These are all now the GST post. So state does its recruitment from MPSC. For the central government department, it's UPSC, civil service examinations, and revenue officers are selected through it. So Group A post are selected through this UPSC, and Group B post are selected through Staff Selection Commission's exam. So, as I have told you, in IRS there are the three main streams: GST, customs, and narcotics. In GST, as I have GST, you must be hearing this name since long, and it's very common, and it has to do with everyday life of individuals. So, GST, you pay GST to your shopkeeper, or you buy anything. Many of the industries, they have to pay GST. So in a particular region, like I am a assistant commissioner of a division in a Mumbai. A division constitutes a jurisdictional area. Areas are divided by pin codes. So in that particular pin codes, those all shopkeepers who have taken register, those industries which have taken registration in that, these will come under my jurisdiction. So their return filing, if there is any fraud or mishappening happening, I have to check that, and these are some of the functions. I will go in detail later. So this is all about GST. Then we all know about customs. Customs, you might have heard this name when you go to international airport, or there are some seaports like Jawaharlal Nehru Port or JNPT in Mumbai. So, whenever there is an import or export from and to our country, there are taxes imposed, and these taxes and the movement of goods is administered by Indian Revenue Service officers, and that is our department, Indian Revenue Service officers in Customs Department. So, this is another department of our service, and the third is the narcotics. Regarding narcotics, we know in our country there are some of the regions where licit cultivation of afim is allowed. These are the places in the state of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. So this licit cultivation of uh, afim is administered by our department. Then, if there is any illicit trafficking and smuggling of the narcotic drugs, then it is our department's responsibility to have a check on it. So this is the third department. While talking about Indian Revenue Service, see, all these services in UPSC are administered by ministries at the central government level. So the parent ministry for Indian Revenue Service is Ministry of Finance. Both the IRS, that is income tax and customs and indirect taxes, are administered by Ministry of Finance. In Ministry of Finance, there is a Department of Revenue. In Department of Revenue, there are two separate boards. Central Board of Direct Taxes is for income tax, and Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs is for our service, CBIC. So this board administers all the revenue services in our country. When I say about administering tax, there are multiple of ways, departments, directorates. It's a little complex thing. I would go in detail, but before that, as you know, that IS, like IS is a generalist service. That IS works for in the health department, education, infrastructure, and many other departments of the government. Whereas many other services, and including Indian Revenue Service, is known as a specialist service. Specialist in the sense that there is a domain. The domain is revenue, and we specialize in that domain, and hence be in that particular department only. So in the revenue services, you require to have a domain knowledge of this service. Like for Indian revenue services, taxation is the thing. There is this Goods and Services Act of 2017, which needs to be implemented by the revenue officers. Then for the customs, there is Indian Customs Act. For narcotics, there are different types. So these acts are administered by revenue officers, and there are provisions. By being, I'm saying that it is a specialist service. It means that you need to have domain specific knowledge, that we need to have skills to get grip in this service. Skills like, say I am in a taxation, so I need to be well versed with the accounting part, how to read balance sheets of the companies, and all the details regarding that. See, I'm basically an engineer. I have done BTech in electronics and telecommunication. But while entering these services, as I have told you, that I have gone for rigorous training for 1 year. So in that training, government imparts that necessary skills to do justice to the service. So one should have a keen interest in the subject domain. That is, you should have interest in the taxation. Generally, IRS officers do not deal with the common public. Mostly, as I have already told you, that in our jurisdiction there will be taxpayers in the form of shopkeepers or industries. So the directors of these industries, those CA, chartered accountants handling their account, some accountants will be looking after their accounts. These will be in contact with us, in contact in sense, if there is any difficulty in filing return, if they get any doubt, or if we want further scrutiny of that particular company, then these people will be in contact with us. So that is a typical nature of our service. In Indian revenue service, as compared to other service, it's a little good in the sense of work-life balance, because the work nature is like from morning 9 to 5 job, and Saturday Sundays are off. So one gets ample of time to pursue one's hobbies, and to do any social activities if one is interested in. So for this work-life balance, this service is good. And also regarding postings, that is in IPS, in IS, in Indian Forest Service, these are all India services and are cadre based. Cadre based, I mean, when a particular cadre, a state is allocated to the particular candidate, then he will be in that cadre only. But in the revenue services, we have zones. Zones are divided based on the revenue of that particular region. Like in Maharashtra, there are three zones, that is Mumbai, Pune, and Nagpur. So we will get posting there. Like I have been posted in Mumbai. So for the first 8 years, I will be in Mumbai, not handling only one job profile. I will be getting transferred inside in the zone. Like for the first 2 to 3 years, I will be in the GST. After that, I will get transferred to the customs posting. That is, might be at airport or at the seaport. Thereafter, again, GST. In GST, there are some other sub commissionerates. I will go in detail regarding that. So it's like that. Within zone, you get transferred. But for the 8 years, like I will be in Mumbai. After that, I get transferred to Mumbai or Nagpur based on. It's like the government asks for the preferences, and based on the vacancies, we get transferred. But yes, one gets a chance to get posted in its home state. I would like to touch another topic also, that when you are in a central government services, this is Indian Revenue Service is a central service. So in central services, there are ample opportunities for deputations also. Deputations, I mean, that is when you first enter these services, you are entered at a particular grade pay, that is a pay level in pay matrix. So based on your rank, that is your seniority, you can opt for similar post in various other departments of our government, like CBI. For us, for the financial investigation, we can go to CBI, Enforcement Directorate, Central Vigilance Commission, then also in ministries of central government, and also to state government as a personal secretary to ministers. So when once in a central government services, you have this ample of opportunities to explore that there's various services, there's various posts are available for deputation. Then also, as there are like other perks of this central government services, that uh, we can go for higher studies to the foreign countries. There are MOUs, that is Memorandum of Understanding of our government with some foreign universities. So you can get a degree that is for the higher studies. You can go to other country. So that is also one of the good aspect of this service. uh, as I was telling you about this service, Indian Revenue Service, customs and indirect taxes is a uniform service. It is actually a legacy that is from the salt tax and the excise times of excise. There was preventive checks, so we need to wear a khaki uniform like that of police. So we still have it, and we have to wear at some of the occasions. So yes, it's a uniform service. And for as it is a uniform service, we also get trained for it. That is, we have arms attachment, that is training of handling arms in CISF academy, in National Police Academy, that is in Hyderabad. So yes, this is a uniform service for the GST, and also for the customs. For the customs, not at IRS, that is Assistant Commissioner level, but for the superintendents known as preventive officer at the airport, they have uniform of white uniform. You must have been seen this at airports or in some or in media. So this is a uniform service. So for the training of as like many other services, our service also has a dedicated academy at Faridabad, Haryana state. There training is imparted. Training is it's more of a fun. For around 2 to 3 weeks, we get a theoretical training, theoretical classroom training, in the sense of understanding these acts like the GST Act. And after this theoretical understanding, we have the field attachments of 1 or 2 weeks. So we learn first the act, and then we go to the field and see its actual implementation. So as a part of training, we travel to various parts of our country, and also uh, as a government initiative, we also go to foreign countries. Like I have been to Europe and we have visited World Customs Organization, Brussels, and then WTO, United Nations. So there are international best practices in this particular fields, like in the field of taxation, in the field of customs. So through these international exposures, we got to learn that what are the best practices being implemented by these countries, like in Europe or some other countries. And we get first-hand experience of how these things are implemented, and then we try to improve our own system and at our own country. When you are at a field level, like presently I am working in as assistant commissioner. At field level, you are the implementer of the policies. Like the GST Act is implemented, and various policies are formulated based on this act, and based on the needs of government. So at the ground, we are implementing that acts in the its letter and its spirit. what happens, but still we have a chance to give the inputs to the government, that if we get feedback from the taxpayers and from the industry, that these are the things which needs to be changed, we need to change this law, and the return system should be more friendly, there are these difficulties faced by them. So when such inputs came, we pass it on to the government, to the higher level at central ministries, and there based on these feedbacks, policies are again reframed, and if the necessary changes are made. So when through one's career, like presently I am assistant commissioner, after my promotion is due in this December, I will be then be deputy commissioner, then joint commissioner, additional commissioner, commissioner. So these are the career progression in Indian Revenue Services. As you go up in the level, the nature of job changes. Like in the field, you are at directly contact with the trade, and directly getting inputs and directly implementing acts. As you move up in the hierarchy, you go more towards policy formulation, that is the in the central government, to frame and to change policies based on the requirements and the needs of people. So this is like career progression